Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome back to another live. Make sure you're smashing the likes and subscribing if you are new. And it's very rare that you see me on a Monday or any day, in fact, where I'm just solo streaming randomly about West Ham United. It is very rare. But I gotta start doing these. I gotta start doing these when I have the time anyway, because I work quite early now. So I have the freedom to do this kind of stuff. I have the freedom to do this kind of stuff where I can stream extra, gotta put in extra work into stuff. And I know I'm not gonna be streaming Friday or at least not Friday evening. So I might as well put in an extra stream while we're here. Big up Taz, big up Mike's, my fellow relegation battler. Yeah, road to 40 points, Taz. Road to 40 points. That's what we're focusing on right now. That's what we're focusing on. But there was also so much to talk about when it comes to West Ham United that I think I might go for an hour, maybe longer if we got more shit to talk about, depending on how this stream goes, to be honest with you. But it feels like every day now we're in a situation where there's just a full-on circus going on at West Ham United, because when West Ham are terrible, that's when the fan base is a bit more united, because as much as we argue all the time about why and what is the problem, we always do that. We do that quite a lot. However, when it gets really, really bad, we're all united against like just one problem mainly. Usually that's the owner. And to be fair, most of us talk about the owner no matter what, whether we're bad or good, but when it gets really bad, that's the time to talk about it. That's the time to talk about it. But you need to talk about it all the time. We need to keep the pressure on. And the protest did well. The protest did really, really well. There was a lot of people, and there was a lot more people than I thought. I just thought because it's online, it doesn't always translate. It doesn't always translate from fans complaining online to going in real life, because a lot of these people don't come outside, i.e. West Ham Central, who we'll get onto in a sec, by the way. We've got some shit to talk about when it comes to him. Oh, yes. Don't think I forgot about him. He's holding corn in this stream specifically. He's holding corn today. But just in general, he did really well. Like, you saw West Ham YouTubers there. You saw West Ham content creators there. But you also saw just the match-going fans that are always there. You saw media there. James from the Daily Mail, Rashane Thomas from The Athletic, who you both saw in my vlog. I actually went past Troy Deeney, funny enough. Going into the game, I saw Troy Deeney. Weird, innit? Weird. I just said, you're right. And that's it. Literally went past Troy Deeney, said hi, and that was it. It was weird. As soon as I go to the ground, I see Troy Deeney. I was like, fucking hell, is that Troy Deeney? I was a little bit drunk as well, because I was like, bruv, I'm not watching West Ham sober today. I cannot watch West Ham sober today. And I think I had every right to after watching that game. After watching that game, indeed. But obviously, Potter's been here since January. It's now September. It's now September. And it's just long. All of this shit is just long now. Because it's just dragging on, and the inevitable is bound to happen. The inevitable is bound to happen, but the club are finding every way they can to make an excuse and find a way to get out of the situation. That's all they're doing. They're finding a way to get out of the situation. And let's start with the first bit of conflicting news. Karen Brady told West Ham supporters will not tolerate any more short-term fixes by fan advisory board co-chair, just as the club consider a short-term fix to the disastrous start to the season. I think she knew that already. I think she already knew that already. I think we knew that already. And listen, I don't care what you think, Karen Brady. I'll be so honest. I don't care what you think. The reason why I don't care what you think is because you ain't done a good job. Neither has David Sullivan. Neither did David Gold when he was alive. Neither has Jack Sullivan. Everyone associated with the board right now has done a terrible job. Terrible job. Especially the higher-ups, the chairmans, the actual owners of the club. I don't care what you're telling us. I don't care what you're telling us about we'll not tolerate any more short-term fixes. Because here's the thing, yeah. West Ham fans like us, yeah. We want us to be sustainable, but we actually want to be somewhat ambitious as well. We actually want progression. We want something to go off. We actually want to feel like we're going somewhere. So, just as that happens, by the way, as Matt Law did point out at the end of that sentence, West Ham are looking for short-term fixes. West Ham are looking for short-term fixes, i.e. Nuno Espirito Santo, i.e. Slaven Bilic, i.e. Gary O'Neill. I've got a big problem with this. Now, as I've said before in my video, if you haven't watched it already, go and watch it. Nuno is the best option, obviously, quite clearly out of the options that the West Ham owners would realistically pick. Because as I mentioned multiple times, the West Ham owners only go for people out of work, and then they're not going to pay compensation for. But that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean I have to put up with the options at hand. That doesn't mean I have to put up with that. Because I feel like now, no matter which manager is being hired by this ownership, I feel like I am supporting the ownership via whichever manager joins. That's what I feel like I'm doing, genuinely. Because at this point, Lopetegui, Gary O'Neill, Graham Potter, Bilic, David Moyes, whatever, whether they're successful or not, if I'm backing a manager, and it's unfair on them saying this, but it's the hard, cold truth when I say this, I am backing whatever the owner is doing. And that's the truth of it. I'm backing whatever the owner's doing if I am backing the manager. Because they hired them. Which is why I can't afford to be patient anymore. I cannot afford to be patient anymore. But to be fair, there is pressure on Graham Potter, but as predicted, he was never going to get sacked. I don't know why people try peddling it out there like he was actually going to get sacked. Like, they're trying to get to the headline so early. They always drag it on. When it's time to go, it's time to go, man. But although not confirmed, it does appear that Potter will have at least the Everton game, possibly the Arsenal game. The board feel these games are tough games, and it would be better to start with Brentford at home for a new manager. Now, let me tell you why. This is bullshit. And not in terms of what X is saying is obviously true, but in terms of their actual mind state and their way of thinking about how to run a football club and how to put pressure on, all of this is bullshit. And the reason why I say this is because, look at this for a second. Potter shouldn't have the Everton game and Arsenal game, for example, but it says Everton and Arsenal, so cool. Even if we lose to Everton, realistically, they're not going to go for a manager. They're not going to go for a manager and re-sign a manager and give them one game and then have an international break. That's the truth. So automatically, they've got the Everton and Arsenal game. Nuno close to agreeing deal. Where did you hear that? I'll come into it in a sec. I might as well bring it up. But the reason why it's bullshit after the Brentford thing is because basically with Brentford, the Brentford game, there's a boycott going on. So after Everton and Arsenal, you got international break. Then the next home game is Brentford. So you've got a boycott going on. So what I feel like they're trying to do is that they know that we're going to lose to Everton and Arsenal or not win. So what they're going to do is sack Graham Potter. International break comes. They hire Nuno Espirito Santo. Then they try and trick the West Ham fans into thinking, well, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. No one is feeling good, bruv. No one is feeling good. So let me get on to the head. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw the headline. Yep, appears to be, yep, there we go. Ex-West Ham employee. I wasn't bugging. I was not bugging. There we go. The leading contender to replace Graham Potter appears to be Nuno Espirito Santo. Nuno is close to agreeing a deal to become the next manager, although he would expect a long-term deal. The board would prefer a short-term deal. So exactly like how it was with Graham Potter when we were going after Graham Potter after Lopetegui being sacked, we are in the exact same place. This is a cop-out. And as I mentioned in my video, why as if you are Nuno Espirito Santo, you're not a Gary O'Neill, you're not a Bilic. Why would you accept a short-term deal? Why would you accept a short-term deal? If I'm Nuno, I'm trying to stay settled again. I'm trying to get back to being settled. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have some sustainability at a club. Whatever club I'm going to next, I want some sustainable shit. Because I just left Marinakis. So, why the hell would Nuno accept a short-term deal? He's like, give me a couple years, not like the rest of the season. He's not an interim guy. This is why I said West Ham don't really hire interims like that. Because when the David Moyes thing, I'm pretty sure David Moyes was probably promised or probably thought at first, after these 6 months, I'm probably going to get the job. Little did he know that Pellegrini was agreed around the same time he was hired. So he didn't get it. Only David Moyes did that to like. Also, he needed his career needed reviving at the time because Sociedad, Sunderland, Man United. It wasn't a great run for him. But Nuno just came back off the getting Forest into Europe. It's just collapsed. Why on earth is he accepting a short-term deal? And the thing is, the board will eventually have to give in. They'll have to give in to what he wants. Because if you go for Slaven Bilic, for example, on my days, don't make me crash out on this fucking channel again. I don't think Potter will be at the club come Christmas Day. He might not even be at the club before November. Jonathan, big up Jonathan. Like, he might not even be in the club till then, so it probably ain't gonna happen. Potter is the one who should have been more stern on a short-term deal because he was out of the game so long. Yeah, maybe. But even as Graham Potter, like, cool in hindsight, he's not as good. But as Graham Potter, I've just come back from managing Brighton and Chelsea. I'm not accepting a short-term deal. The board are fucking delusional in their own stubborn ways when it comes to dealing with money. If I'm a big name or just any normal manager name, I'm not accepting that. I don't even rate Gary O'Neill, yeah. As even Gary O'Neill, I'm not accepting that. I just came back off Wolves and Bournemouth. I'm trying to start my career where I'm trying to make a name for myself. I'm not doing that. That's what I'm saying. If you're and Nuno and Potter have more leverage because they have a career. They actually have managerial careers. But there you go. Slav should take a week by week deal with the cuck. And exactly. This is the thing, yeah. I'm tired of sentimental nonsense. This is not Man United with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is not if Man City was to hire fucking Micah Richards or some bullshit on an interim deal. I was going to say Vincent Kompany, but he's actually a manager. He's a proper manager. It's not Chelsea with Frank Lampard. This is not if Liverpool was to get Gerrard after Slot. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, the audacity, by the way, to be like, yeah, let's bring Mark Noble as assistant so he can develop as a manager one day. Because everyone's like, oh, I want Mark Noble to be manager of West Ham. He hasn't done anything to be manager. And also, I don't want to turn on Mark Noble, so no. I don't want to turn on because if you're manager of West Ham, I'm going to have to crash it on you. I don't want Mark Noble to ever manage West Ham. And I don't want to have to crash it on Mark Noble. So stay upstairs. Stay upstairs. If you're going to be a coach, be in the backroom staff. Don't go near this club. Don't go near this club as a manager, bro. I don't want to have to crash it on you. Do you know the meme of the guy who's got the gun and he's about to cry? He's about to cry, but he's about to shoot him. That would be me. I'm like, bro, allow it. For 1 second. For 1 second, bro. Who rated? Big up. Wait, who rated people? Wait, Graham Potter inbred. Was it you touchdown, bro? Yeah, needed centre forward in January. Yeah, we needed a centre forward in the summer, didn't we? Needed centre forward and left wing. But this club for you. That's why I said 11 fucking players is needed. 11. For a good reason, by the way. For a good reason. Big up to Merrick as well. Big up to Merrick. So this whole thing about Slaven Bilic bringing in, what, James Collins, was it? The rumour was James Collins, Mark Noble, Julian Dix. I'll bring back all the former players. Because that's going to solve anything. Are you taking a fucking piss? Bring back the former players, guys. This is not Antiques Roadshow. This is not the special bus. In fact, it probably is the special bus of football at this point. We're not here to be one big family and shit. This isn't the one show where you're just sitting around the panel gathering. Like, what the fuck? This is not the special bus. It's not. We're not here to just have X people all the time. Graham Potter, Who rated, by the way? Who rated? I need to check that. Because it doesn't say on my phone who rated. But big up anyway. Noble overrated both has played his contributions since retiring fast. Noble, I would have advised the board against Potter. Do you know what the problem is? To be fair, as a player, I don't even think he was like rated as a player, to be honest with you. Oh, touchline rated, big up touchline. Like, here's my thing with Noble. I crushed it on him as a player as well. I crashed it on him as a player because anyone who knows me, I'll crash it on anyone. I don't care. I'm here to create. I'm like no Marcus Alonso shit, but I'll crash it. Like, here's my thing. Noble nearly left his role since retirement nearly straight after he actually joined. Nearly left straight after he joined. And here's my thing. If you're head of academy or head of developing, being the bridge between first team and academy or whatever, and you are Mark Noble, you got to put your foot down a lot more. You got to put your foot down a lot more. I'm sorry, you have to. You have to use some form of leverage that you have. I'm not blaming him, but at the same time, bro, I think you have to use some form of leverage that you got. Because as much as I don't think he probably doesn't have fuck all. But I would have just left. If do you know when it was in a season, by the way, where I'm pretty sure we was in a conference league, we won a conference league. I would have just left. I would have been like, fuck this, I'm leaving. You ain't giving me the role I wanted. I'm leaving. But he should know the ownership he's working for. So I get he wants to help via the academy and stuff, but we're not bringing anyone through, so it doesn't make a difference. Max, your forehead looks bigger when you're angry. Well, that makes sense because my eyebrows will go down if I'm angry. My forehead's huge. Big up Twisted Fate. Oh my god. I would have told him to take standard suggestions of Fonseca. And that's the thing. Standard only suggested Fonseca because he knows that he ain't gonna. If he suggests someone that is in work, they're not gonna get him. Because ideally, he wanted a Stuttgart guy. He wanted a Stuttgart guy, and we instead got the fucking Will Salthouse client, which I didn't even know. I didn't even know Lopetegui was Will Salthouse, by the way. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that until like a few weeks ago. I would have been against it from the jump. And I was against it from the jump, but I wouldn't even given him a chance like I did. I gave him, like 4 games. This is why I keep the same energy of everyone. Nobody can say that. I keep the same energy of everyone. I remember saying to Charlie was Potter out for time. He was telling me I'm Potter out. And I know Damien's been Potter out for time as well. But you're DMing me saying like I'm Potter out. And I'm like, I'm going to give him the preseason. If he fucks up on the first game, he's gone. And he fucked up on the first game. It honestly doesn't matter what manager we bring in anyway. David Sullivan and Karen Brady will do them dirty and not bring the players they want in the club. Yeah, do you know what my thing is, bro? We either don't bring the right players in and go against whatever the recruitment, actual footballing people up top do, or we just hire the wrong manager. So it's either or every single time. We're never going to have anyone on the same wavelength anymore. And we haven't. When have we ever had people on the same wavelength? Because even under Moyes, when we were good, Moyes didn't want players. He wanted like 15 players in his fucking squad. He wanted a small squad. And then when he wanted a bigger squad, he couldn't coach them. And half of the people wanted to leave afterwards. But the ownership given to the managers that want to work with what they got. That's the truth. That's the truth of it. Noble needed to be around the first team to maintain the culture, not coaching 14-year-olds. Yeah, we needed to be the bridge. It needs to be the bridge. I think we've given him the wrong role anyway, to be honest with you. I don't think he needs to be an extra. I think he just needs to be the bridge for the culture. Like, we don't have a culture at the club. And that's why I'm saying, like, you can have ex-players in the coaching staff, like Moyes did with Stuart Pearce, Kevin Nolan, etc. I'm pretty sure those were the only 2 ex-players that were in the coaching staff in Moyes' time. But that makes sense, innit? That makes sense. But as a manager, or as someone who is just in the background for no reason, there is no point. You got to be the guy to bridge the gap. Bridge the gap in the culture. Be like, I'm setting a precedent. I got to be the spokesperson for the ownership that tells you all about what West Ham United is. Big up, bro. Snyder knew which team Locke should be picking. That's the thing as well. We do all this all the time where, like, for example, we gave Snyder the freedom to get the deals done, but not to identify the players. In the problem I have with all of this is the fact that we are market opportunity FC. So whether they're on a free or for 40 million, the spending of money doesn't make any sense in the first place. So we only spend it if they are somewhat available. We've never been a club, by the way, to go and like test another club and be like, you know what, you see that player there? We want that. And it's not even just like the big six that do that type of shit. It's every single club actually do that, whether it's they go for a player in Europe, whether it's like a Feyenoord, an Anderlecht, or whatever it is. They go and get a gem, like we want that player, come to us, we're in the Premier League. Or we just go at someone else and be like, you see that player that wants to leave anyway, get him in my club. But instead, what we do, we give like half the freedom. We're like, you can come to the club and do what you want to do, but only half of it, because we're going to take over the rest. Because we want to be quote unquote self-sustainable. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, do you know what's so funny? Yeah, people over exaggerate the fucking financial situation. That's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off. They take the fucking piss. They take the fucking piss all the time. Who has been West Ham's opening 5 games? I don't see a world where they should have done worse than us because we played Chelsea, Arsenal, Fulham, and Burnley. So we had Sunderland, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Tottenham, and Palace. Which, don't get me wrong, is a difficult opening 5 games. It is, but it comes to a point, yeah, where it's not when people give in to, for example, it being so called impossible to like win these games. It becomes a big problemo. It becomes a big problemo because it's just like you give into the mentality of, oh, we can't win those games anyway. I saw someone on the West Ham Way website, yeah. I don't know his name, but I thought this was a fucking terrible excuse. He basically said that people shouldn't be getting on to Graham Potter because Sunderland, that's their first Premier League game. Chelsea are Chelsea. Tottenham are Tottenham. Uh, Nottingham Forest, cool, whatever. He won that game. And Palace are the FA Cup winners. And this was actually before we actually played Palace that this guy was talking about that. Like, why are you getting on to Potter? We had those games. Is Potter going to beat Everton? Because people are going to be like, well, Everton are playing well. Is Potter going to beat Arsenal? People are like, well, Arsenal are going for the league. We beat them last year. It's not. I'm not saying like it's an expectation to win every game, but it's not impossible to win any game. If you're going on a streak of losses against a certain team and it continues, you should have even more motivation to go for that and be like, I'm going to break this streak, not give in to your record, which is why we're so shit now. Lopetegui was trying to surround himself with his own men, Soler, Rodriguez, etc. Both were bought in his cover. Yeah, you're right. I hope James Ward-Prowse will drop next match, even though I doubt Graham Potter will because he loves him. Yeah, and that's the thing. Every single game, he's there. He's there. And we're coming up against the midfield of what? Dewsbury Hall, Garner, Gay, and I forgot who else plays in the pivot. Is it James Garner as well? Long day, my friend. As an Everton fan, I'm sorry for what's happening in your club. It's also clear now Moyes wasn't the issue at West Ham because Everton has recruited good players now. Sullivan was always the issue. I never thought Moyes was the main issue. This is my point. And when I wanted Moyes out, I wanted someone in a different direction, someone better, but not the pretty football stuff. I don't give a fuck. But it wasn't working at the time. But the point is, with it wasn't working. What we got lucky with was that teams around us weren't working either. Teams around us have since leaped, and we haven't, and we've got worse. But even then, Sullivan was always the issue. Sullivan has always been the issue from 2010, from when he joined the club. Big up to PFC and big up to Terrell. Hope you man are doing well. Mike's higher wisdom as your next manager. Hey, man, like Lisdom. Yeah, right, bro. It's Lisdom. The L. There's no W's in wisdom, bro. There's no W's. Man, like Lisdom, bro. Oh, okay, that's fair. It's harder opening 5 than I thought, to be fair. Yeah, don't get me wrong. On paper, Twisted, it definitely is a difficult opening 5. But anyone that knows me knows I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if your opening 6 games was the big 6 games. You have to do better than this. Like, it's not even like Twisted, we're like competing every game. And it's a case of like, we're just losing all these games by fine margins and it's purely of individual errors. It's the way we're set up doesn't allow us to have like a thing of, okay, it's just an error, but a setup at least covers for it. So next time we don't make the individual error, we'll win next game. It's a case of like the setup doesn't help. And then you put yourself up by basically getting aborted every single game, but you're making a mistake. This is the problem. And when you look at the goals, when you look at the games that we've been in, we competed with Forest, we won. We competed a little bit against Crystal Palace, but for like 20 minutes. We competed for Chelsea until we scored. We competed for like one half against Tottenham. Against Sunderland, we competed for like 10 minutes, probably in the second, in like the back end of the first half. Like we haven't competed for a whole game yet, apart from Forest. Just provide wisdom and wheelchair ramp, and you are good. And a teaching assistant, Twisted PFC. He needs a teaching assistant, bro. Listen. Pick up Lee. Afternoon, mate. How are you? All good, mate. All good, mate. How you been, man? How you been? Somerville's looked good since coming back better than expected. Should have been used as a rival last season. This is why I didn't believe the Cornet thing, bro. I didn't think he was going to look the same as like Maxwell Cornet when he came back. I knew Somerville was keeping himself a bit more sharp than Maxwell Cornet. I think it's just relative to where it is, isn't it? I just think we all got PTSD, but I really like Somerville. I like them type of players. I just wish we had another one of them, so we have more depth in the wings. Random question: what is Paquetá's best position? Paquetá's best position is an 8 and a 3. Like he's just left or right side of centre mid in a 3. I don't know whether you remember Damien and Merrick. You might remember because you might have West Ham, and Lee in the chat. You might have West Ham fans. Do you remember Leeds away where we drew 2-2 in that game where we was in a Conference League season and Moyes changed formation? Didn't really know what style of play he wanted to play, but he had to satisfy different players and he had to change the lineup. I remember Paquetá had an absolute masterclass that game. And the truth is, he's better when he's combining with players, when he's making third man runs and has the freedom to go around the pitch where he wants to. So either the left or the right of a midfield 3, where he's allowed to combine with people constantly, and he has 2 people to combine with. So it's the fullback and the winger running in behind. That's him in a nutshell. That's him in a nut. For me, that's him in a nutshell. Like that's him, like 1-2s, running in behind, and then I can sit deep at times and dictate the play. And then he does the whole thing where he'll get the ball from the wing, and then he'll look in the middle, pass it to someone else, and then make the inside run. Or he sees someone else making the inside run. As soon as Paquetá gets the ball, you see Bowen just bam, running. Now, for real, I'm the same as United. We finished 15th last season. I think we could have done better. We should have beat Arsenal title challenges, and we should have beat Fulham away. Early game, we should have lost to City, undoubtedly. Yeah, exactly. Like, it is Twisted. You'll never find me making excuses. I don't think I've ever made an excuse that's been on the YouTube channel being like, well, it was raining, or or we had injuries, or whatever, or the referee. I used to complain about the referee time ago, but I realized I was just like, whenever I ever not complain about the ref? Whenever I ever not complained about the ref? And then I was like, I'm not complaining about refs anymore. It's a 90-minute game. You can always do better. There's always times where you could have not conceded or you could have scored the chances you had. So I'll never, ever make excuses. Never. Never. I can never make an excuse. Which is why I'm honest. I'm just honest. There's no point. You just go through that tribalistic stuff where it's like, oh, but the referee. But yeah, but the referee fucks over everyone. Oh, but injuries, but everyone gets injuries. Or you could have had better training regime, or you could have had better squad planning in the transfer window. Sometimes you get very unlucky, but usually the time, especially in modern day football, when you get quite a lot of injuries and like anyway, it's mainly because the training regime isn't great. Like you see it with Pochettino at Chelsea, you see it with Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham. Those are 2 examples. Usually a lot of training injuries, or a lot of injuries in general where players have been running to the ground. It's because of the manager. Same with Arsenal and Arteta. They get a lot more injuries now because they're playing the same players over and over again, which is why I'll never make an excuse. James Ward-Prowse might as well call him James Ward back, or James Ward side with his sideways backwards pass. Honestly, probably, bro. Probably, bro. That's a James sideways, bro. No affairs. I had my doubts regarding Cree coming back the same. Yeah, fair enough. I understand, though, because we've seen it before. I think we should try and use Ajala as that left wing depth. I'd like to see. This is why I'm like, I don't want to be an academy merchant in it, but I want to see academy players used now at the right time because there's a little bit of depth and a little bit of energy that we need that could only come from youth prospects. I'm not saying play them every game. I'm not saying they have to start every game, but especially if the plan was to include them, you ain't got an excuse and you built expectation for yourself that you can't sustain, unfortunately. So I'd like to see Ajala in general. I'd like to see Ajala in general get given like more game. I know he's injured right now, I think, but little 20-minute cameo. That's all you could really ask for. Yeah, so I remember that match. That was the match West Ham bottled a 2-1 lead. Yep, facts. Facts. I was really pissed off that game because it was in a relegation battle. I think David Gold had just passed around then. Declan Rice gave a team talk. It was doing all right. doing all right that game. I think that's some bad substitutions by boys where we lost control. Skamaka had a really good game. We should have stuck with that formation under that team 4-3-3. Let people just stick with each other. They're constantly closing, going back and forth and stuff, running at the team. That was a good team. That was a good team. But we should have practiced that in pre-season as well. He does that as a 10. Pakistan chips in with defensive work. Like, that's the thing, bro. I like Pakistan in everywhere centrally. So like he does defensive work. He does the running. I remember some dickheads, absolute dickheads, had the audacity to say when we initially signed him that he doesn't do the running. Bruv, this guy runs for his life. Sometimes he runs too much and he runs himself into the ground. But Paquetá, he's legs in midfield, so anywhere centrally, actually, like he can. Like the thing is, the false nine thing ain't gonna work right now. But the false nine for one game, I don't mind it. If you got everywhere around his team working, he can play deeper. Pause. He can play the 8 in the 4-3-3. You can play the 10 in the 4-2-3-1. Like he's good in most systems. Like he's not someone I worry about when it comes to when the manager has to change system because he likes counter-attacking football. He likes any style of football where you got players running in behind. That's how you get the best out of the guy. He was brilliant, scored his first West Ham goal as well in that match. Yep. He was class in that match. Class. Like that penalty was like, hold on a sec. Why is he taking a penalty? Sometimes the ref are absolutely abysmal and can lose you the games, but yeah, you have to take the chances that fall to you. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so when I'm talking about like robbery, people only really talk about robberies, really, to be fair, when it's like right at the end, a decision happens right at the end. But people got to analyze the whole 90 minutes, where it's like, let's say even they're not giving the fouls to you or whatever. It doesn't. They're not stopping you from getting into the box and like actually peppering the goalkeeper with chances and stuff. That's the way I see it. They are shit, but they're always going to be shit. I'm not saying it shouldn't be held accountable. I just don't think it should be held as a reason for a team loses. That's just my thing. Big up to H every single time. Hope you're doing well. His packets are still putting the phone down and probably. He probably still is. I still like the celebration. That's the best part about the season, H. That celebration, just that. But I hear it, man. You actually scored a goal and you're above us now. You're 18th, we're 19th. The claret and blue cartel is just not. I'm not doing quite well at the moment. Now, same, I'm definitely not an academy merchant. There's just gaps in the squad. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm asking for academy players to play now. That's what I'm saying. I think there's a time and a place to play academy players. I think there's definitely a time and a place to play academy players. And I think now is the time. Now is the place, especially when your academy is good enough. Just my opinion. I wasn't asking, for example, like, I've always thought, by the way, we've at least had 1 or 2 or 3 that can like make the squad at least. But I've never been like, for example, 16, 17, 17, 18, when the Josh Cullens were just about coming through and the Connor Coventries were just about coming through. I wasn't asking for academy players to play then. I wasn't even asking Declan Rice to come through them at the time. I wasn't. I'm just being real with it. I wasn't asking. For that. Also with academy kids, they will do everything to try and get a breakthrough. 100% they will leave it all on the pitch. Yeah, but that's like a bare minimum I expect from my players anyway. But I 100% get that because they come on, they want to make a name for themselves. Don't they? Like it's not even just a running off the ball and stuff like that. And you're right, Twisted, bro. Get on the ball and try and do something. Innit? They're not afraid. They're not scared. I remember when Lewis Orford was just about playing. He wanted to make a name for himself. Like, go and give them a chance, man. Go and give them a chance. I love Pakistan could just be a bit irresponsible defensively. Other than that, he's brilliant. Yeah, I just think sometimes what he does, he's very ADHD. He wants to create even when he's in the other box. So he needs to stop doing that faffing around in the edge of our own box. But down the other end, it's cool. I'd only trust him in an 8 in a 4-2-3-1 against lesser sides. I honestly think because of his tackling and because of his running, we can risk it. And if you've got a good enough ball winner, let's say Mikez is the guy. Let's say he is. If you've got a good enough ball winner, I think you can risk it. But I also think we've come to the point right now where everything else hasn't worked. So go and get the guy that can pass the ball at a bare minimum and progress the ball at a bare minimum from deeper areas to try and make it work. Because nothing else is working. At least you have the best part of the season. Fucking hell, shout over here. Best part It's 2 keeper mistakes. Nah, I fully hear that, bro. I fully hear that. Fully hear that. We're both fucked right now, but at least you man got more to look forward to. I'd still rather be you than me. How many at the protest? Bare. I don't know how many specifically, kudos, but there was a lot of people at the protest. A lot. It was very crowded. But I was actually surprised I got to the front. I didn't think people would allow me to go to the front. I wanted to go to the front because I'm short. I'm so short. So I wanted to see everything, but also wanted to get some things for the vlog. Also wanted to be at the forefront of the chanting and stuff like that as well. I was there, and I'm going to be there for Burnley in what? End of October, November-ish. I'll be there. I'll be there. Will I boycott Brentford? We'll see. We'll see. I might just go just because I can get there easier, to be honest. Honestly. Because I paid for my season ticket already, so it kind of doesn't really matter. But I'm also high up, so nobody's going to notice where I am. Yeah, about 3,000 odd. I think it's probably about 3,000. This is literally the first season I think we've needed academy players. Can't even think of one of examples. Fair enough. Fair enough. I've always liked our academy to an extent, but I've never been the guy that I was always the guy that was anti like just give the youth a chance. Give the youth a chance. They can fucking do better. No, just get me a coach, bro. That's what I was thinking at the time. Get me a coach. And now I think ever since the Youth Cup squad, I've been for the academy players. I've been for the academy players even just before that. Even in the season we were going Conference League, when I saw some of the players play, I was watching academy games week in, week out, basically, whenever they were on the YouTube channel live. Now I just catch them now and then. I want to properly sit down and analyze them again. But for me, I've always rooted for some academy players to make it through just because I know they're good enough and I know they can develop. There's certain players that I did actually think would be good enough to get to the first team that developed really quick as well. So I'm not always correct in like both ways, whether I think they're good enough or not. There's some players that make it, I'm like, I never thought you'd make it, to be honest with you, but fair play to you. Every club has a point like that, though. Even us, I want more youth to be played, especially our midfield, to find an answer this season. Would you have let Collier go on loan? Twisted. Because whenever I saw Collier play, I'm not saying he's special, but he at least put himself around and wanted to be on the ball and stuff. Would you let Collier go on loan in this state if you, in hindsight? Because I don't think he was a bad player. I don't think he was a bad player. I hear you. It comes down to the quality of the six next to him as well. Yeah, I think that's how Leon played. When they were good and bad, they played Paquetá in a six, in like a double 6/8, allow them to roam forward. I just think if you have enough of a ball winner anyway, it makes up for what it is. Like Declan Rice, for example, made our midfield look a lot better than it was. Like that, you're not going to find many ball winners like Declan Rice. You're not. You're not going to find many people that cover the space like he does and stops counter attacks and stuff. And now he's at Arsenal. People are like going at him and stuff, but I don't think people understand Arsenal ain't used him properly. Arsenal are not used him properly. But going to my point, that's why I think a Paquetá can play deeper. But also at the current moment in time, we might as well just take a fucking risk. We might as well just take a fucking risk. I just don't want West Ham being relegated. I'm rooting for you guys, honestly. No, fair enough. I appreciate that. I mainly don't want West Ham to get relegated because I don't want to be in the London Stadium. I'm not going to the games in the Championship. I don't care. I would go if it's Upton Park. I'm not going if it's the London Stadium. I'm not going. I'm not trying to see that stadium in the Championship. But also, this channel would be heavily hindered. I've said this multiple times before. I don't think people realize this channel wouldn't get the same thing it's getting right now. It wouldn't. The channel only does well if West Ham are really good or West Ham are so bad but just above relegation. So I only really get views if West Ham lose like mad or if West Ham are overachieving. Because I was still getting views on match reactions when West Ham were good. Because when I started the channel, West Ham were good. But in a Championship, people aren't going to care anymore. You might care for my reaction. You might care for Lawless's. You're not going to care in the long term. It's like, well, I don't follow the Championship. I don't follow West Ham's law against Hull City and Birmingham. We need to stay the prep, man. For the love of God, who would Nuno take first? United or West Ham? Big up, Blank. I think everyone's going to Man United over West Ham, but yeah. No, I wouldn't. He brings things to the midfield we miss, even as he is. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. He's your most promising academy prospect right now. In terms of the guys that are in the academy right now, so if we're not counting like Kante, who we bought, I'd say a Jala. I'd say a Jala because this guy scores every game. I really like Joshua Jala. I really like Joshua Jala. I think he's someone. I discussed this with Damien the other day on one of my streams. Like he can play across the front three. He can do really well with pace. He's got good feet. He's got like lethal striking ability as well. He's got really good ball striking for a young academy kid. I'm gonna say a Jala. I do like Firon. I do like Earthy. I do like Marshall. Obviously Kante as well, but I'm not counting them. And Skulls is already in the first team technically, so it's Potts, even though they're not playing. So I would say a Jala because I ain't never seen someone with this success rate at West Ham's academy when it comes to goal per game ratio. And when you actually watch him play, it's not even just a stats thing. This guy affects defenders. He is too physical to play in the youth academy anymore. We need to get him alone in January. If not, then try and integrate him as a squad player at least because he needs first team football. This guy needs. I've never seen a man more desperate for first team football in my life. Ajala's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. Like he's a good player. Bring him in. You guys missed out on go OJ's Mourinho. Don't get me started on this shit. Pick up blank though. Elise says one. Elise, I keep forgetting how to say his name. It's one Moyes overlooked when Ogbonna was injured. That pissed me off. I remember that Arsenal game where we lost 2-1. This motherfucker played Fredericks at left back and Cresswell as a centre back in the back four, and overlooked Elise. I remember Elise and Baptiste were like the guys that like just about to come through, and then Baptiste actually suffered something to do. Like I think he had a hernia problem, Jamal Baptiste. But Elise was he was raw. He would have been good enough to play the Prem week in, week out. But for that specific game, I don't care if it's Arsenal, we didn't have a centre back because someone else was suspended in it, and Zuma and Ogbonna were both injured. So he was that fourth choice without being fourth choice. Like he did well in that Europa League game when we played Longello, Baptiste, Elise said Ashby, and Sonny Perkins. They all made the good account of themselves, even though Sonny Perkins was never going to be good enough. Fair play to the guy, though. I don't know I think he's at Leyton Orient now. Ashby, I actually thought Ashby would be all right as a squad player. I know he's at QPR now, but again, like the Dean Garner thing, it's a situation thing. Because your actual stock isn't up like your playing ability is, you're always going to go to the championship, and then you have to succeed there. Otherwise, people are going to say you was never good anyway. Now, Ashby was good enough. For the time being, he was. If he was integrated around better players, he would have been good enough as well. Same with Dean Garner, because he had a good relationship with Sebastian Haller at the time. So I always looked at certain people and be like, you could have still done something. You could have still done something at least. At least. You could have done something at least. Like, it comes to a point where we didn't have enough energy at the time. We didn't have enough overlapping skills. We didn't have enough crossing ability. You could do all of that. If West Ham do get relegated, I won't be able to watch their matches in the Championship. Fair enough. Fair enough, Merrick. How come? How come West Ham's a baller league? You're taking a fucking piss. I like Championship content more than Prem. Not going to lie, it's more exciting league, but West Ham don't deserve to be there. All bands aside, they're too big of a club for the Championship. To be fair, a lot of big clubs have gone there, innit? Like Leeds, Villa. Who else is big that's gone to the Championship? Yeah, Leeds and Villa mainly. Leeds and Villa. But like at this current moment in time, we can't be in that stadium in the Championship. And to be fair, I've watched Championship content as well before. I've watched Championship content as well. I really enjoy it. I prefer actually watching the league in general than the Premier League because there's no VAR. The refs are just a shit. Don't get me wrong, they're terrible. But it's more exciting and it's so unpredictable. Like Southampton, for example, they got Will Still right now. They haven't won their first 5 games, I'm pretty sure. Or they've won 1 in their last 5, or they've gone 5 in a row without winning. Something like that. They're on a bad record. They lost to Hull. And Hull were in a bad place last year. So the Championship throws all kind of spanners in the work, which is also why I don't want to get relegated, because of how unpredictable it is. We're not ready to come back. We're not, like, you see us right now, everyone's like, oh, you'll be fun in the Championship. You see teams like Southampton, like Norwich and West Brom in the past that have got relegated. It's because they have wage cuts and relegation clauses. They expect to go down. Ipswich expected to go down. They're fine. West Ham aren't expected to go down. People are going to have to take wage cuts. People are going to have to get offloaded. People don't understand. Because of the cuts in the clubs as well that people have to take, every single club has to do this when they get relegated. They have to let staff go in every department because of the cuts. People don't realize this. It's bad. Financially, it's terrible. And yeah, you get parachute payments when you come back up, go back down, come back up, go back down. But that don't mean we're going to use it correctly. Yeah, like, so there's too many negatives for if West Ham go to the Championship, for example. Ajala doesn't stop moving, always moving. Yeah, facts. And it's very important for a striker to do that as well, by the way. It's very important for a striker to do that as well, because when you're a striker, like, you want to constantly make your defenders think. Like, just think. Like, put your fingers to your heads and think. Do this all the time. They're like, what do I do now? Because Ajala's got power, he's got pace, but he's also got movement, he's got intelligence. And he looks like a level ahead, genuinely a level ahead of the academy players he's playing around right now. But I don't know. I don't think he's going to be included in it. Who's the most promising first team youngster? Skulls. Skulls is. I like Skulls. I think one game against Mohamed Salah and Graham Potter decided to treat him like shit. Same with Wan-Bissaka, by the way. One big game from Wan-Bissaka against Chelsea. Wan-Bissaka is now a second choice. Even though he was injured on the weekend or ill, he got benched, and Walker Peters will be the guy going forward, which I don't mind. But my point, listen, Diouf is playing, so I don't really care. But at the same time, I think people were very hard. Like, people did too much either way. People were like, Skulls is the best thing since sliced bread. Should be playing for England. And the other people were like, Skulls is the worst thing I've ever seen. Fucking kill him. Like, it's not that. He just needed someone around him that he was going to learn off. And I think Emerson was the guy, but also Diouf is the guy. So he has someone to learn off right now. And we'll see if he plays under Nuno. If Nuno eventually takes over from Graham Potter, will we eventually lose to Everton and Arsenal? Left of a back three, Elise. Yeah, because he can play. What I really like about centre-backs like that is because he can play left-back and centre-back. No, West Ham fans aren't getting onto Wan-Bissaka. It's, what's it called? It's just part. We love Wan-Bissaka here. No Wan-Bissaka slander is tolerated. But left back and centre back, when defenders can play full back and centre back, going to a back three is like perfect for them. At least they could play that as well. Because here in the United States, the channel for the EFL Championship is on Paramount Plus, which channel I don't have. Fair enough. Your players won't stay? Yeah, definitely not. The only one that kind of has to stay is Bowen, and the reason why I say that is because unless a team comes in for him, he's kind of signed a death wish. Unfortunately, you kind of done too much in making yourself the face of the club. But if he does leave, nobody's going to budge. Nobody's going to be like, oh, how dare you? If they are, then they're just a dickhead. They're just a dickhead, if I'm being so honest. But even people like the young guys might leave. Like Guilherme might leave. Like some of us probably gone. Paquetá will definitely go. God forbid if Ward-Prowse doesn't leave. Jesus Christ. Let's say if West Ham got relegated, someone will pick up Diouf as well. Someone will pick up a Wan-Bissaka. Someone will pick up a Walker Peters. Kilman, I don't really care. Mavropanos, don't really care. Tadibo, he'll probably leave. Hermanson, maybe. I don't know. Midfielders as well. Fucking bare players are going to leave. I'm not going to go through the whole team. It was only good for a team like Burnley. They make a killing of coming back up and down. Yeah, like Burnley, Norwich, West Brom, they're the teams that were like prepared to go down, but also come back up because of their wage cuts. Because when their wages get cut, cool, they could go from 40 grand to 25 grand, 25 grand to 10 grand, wherever it is a week, some of their players. But what they can't do is, like, if your players are constantly over 40k plus because you haven't been relegated since the 12-13 season or whatever it may be, or the 10-11 season, and you just got promoted 11-12 season, so your first season back in the Premier League was 12-13. That's a very long time. And they had the audacity to brag about that in the fucking thing. What's it called? I can't remember. In the statement. They had the audacity to brag about it. Yeah, promising first team youngster, answer that. West Ham fans again, no. Is West Ham the biggest London club outside the top six? Definitely. By far, it's not even close. So, we're the fourth biggest club in London. There's nothing to brag about. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I think what's it? Palace have only just won their first trophy. Charlton won one trophy. Millwall have won fuck all. Fulham have won nothing. Brentford won nothing. Don't know what QPR have won. I don't know if they've won anything in their lifetime. But West Ham are the biggest club because we're not bigger than Tottenham, Chelsea, and Arsenal. But we're clear of the rest. We're like right in between sort of thing. Big up Boris. I feel Diouf will be your best player of the season with how he played against us at the Olympic Stadium. Yeah, Diouf has been sensational. I can't even lie, Boris. I can't even lie. He's been absolutely class. He's been class. Like when it comes to defensive ability, 1v1, crunching players, but also putting them crosses in, something we've missed for quite a while. Even though Emerson was good, he was a different type of left back. Even though he could cross, he didn't do it enough. He was more of a running at the players kind of guy. He was more like a winger playing that wing back, playing that fullback, but he could actually defend as well. Diouf can do everything. He's very all-rounded, very powerful, very technical. I like players that are both powerful and technical, by the way. Like, you've got the physicality, so you're not going to be bullied anytime soon. But also, you've got the technical ability to, like, combine with players, put crosses in, go left foot, right foot if you can, find the spaces that teams won't find, etc., where people are defending you for time. So you've got to find the spaces to get in between. He's very intelligent. Just an intelligent footballer. That's what you need. That's what you need. I still love that guy. He was good enough to stay at United not for our play style. If we played old school 4-4-2, I'm keeping that man 10 out of 10 times. I think if you just play a normal back four, it just benefits him a lot more. I think the back three thing, he could probably play right centre back, but I wouldn't play about wing back. My favourite player, he starts for you right wing back. Maz and Ahmad. None of these men are right wing backs to me. Like, I know Ahmad did sort of well there at times, but it's still not balanced. It's still not balanced in my opinion. I still don't think you can have the whole left foot at right wing back specifically, because if they're inverted, someone else has got to go on a touchdown, and that man's probably going to be in Mbeumo, which is why I was discussing about the balance earlier. But Mazzarari looks so much better in a back four / right centre back role because it just suits him a lot more. He's not that kind of guy to be a wing back. It's the same with Wan-Bissaka. He's good at different things, but I think he's way more suited to a back three than a wing back. But I don't expect Wan-Bissaka to be doing anything at wing back, which what annoyed me about it really annoyed me about Potter when we kept going to back five. It's like, I get you like the back three, but surely you could go to back three in possession specifically and just have Wan-Bissaka tucking in like we did against Aston Villa on his very first game. But he didn't keep that up. He wasn't flexible as he tried to make out that he was. He was so less, like, this is the problem I have with Potter. He's like not as flexible as he was at Brighton. At Brighton, he was switching it up. Players playing in different positions. It wasn't just 5 defenders straight. Solly March didn't play wing back before he was at with Graham Potter. He didn't play wing back before he was at Graham Potter, but you're playing a winger there. It's different. It's so different. And that's what Solly March was. Solly March was just a straight out right winger. And then he played right wing back under Graham Potter for the first time. And then that's what happened. Did you beat the 3 promoted teams? I think one of them. When? Which season are you talking about, Blank? Come back to me. Which season are you talking about? The club, if they didn't get promoted straight back up to the Prem after going down to the Championship, was Fulham, as their wages were still Prem wages and didn't have percentage wage cuts. Exactly. And I think it makes it even worse when it's like there's a gap in between your time for your last time getting relegated. If you're a team that's not completely new to the Championship or whatever, so your next time it hits different. It hits different because it's just like all the wages, all the fucking money, it just gets cut. It just gets cut so quickly. And Fulham struggled with that. QPR struggled with that when they were signing players on huge wages beforehand. Crystal Palace will probably struggle with that if they get relegated next. We struggled with that when we got relegated 10-11 season, even though our relegation last time was like 2006 or whatever it was, 2007. Can't remember which season. We still struggle with that. Aston Villa struggled with that. So, I don't know. Yeah, he just simply doesn't know absolutely Wan-Bissaka defensively, but he is a better man than Ahmad going forward, which are right wing back needs importantly. I agree. I think going forward, Wan-Bissaka and Mazzarari give you different things. Like Mazzarari better in trying to get out of possession and stuff like that, combining with players. I think Wan-Bissaka, he just has no fear. I just think he has less fear than he did at Man United. Diouf is the only fullback I've seen that can match Kudus physically. Yeah, like, that's the thing I have. Like, we did quite well against the people that were playing on your wing specifically. Like, Walker Peters was mainly coming up against Spence more time than Simmons, because Simmons is obviously drifting in, and Diouf dealt with Kudus very well. It was just the midfield, the defense. It was right through the centre where I think Frank even saw that in the game and he was like, yeah, forget the wings for a sec. Just go down the centre. Just go down the centre. And then that's where they're pussies. Yes, I said there's one Ahmad left wing back. That's the thing. I just think, do you know, it is twisted. I just think you guys should have better depth at wing backs. I think you can allow Ahmad and Mbeumo and Cunha to just be 10 depths. I just think Ahmad and Mbeumo should be right at 10 depths. Because that's their game, cutting in, shooting, taking players on. They could go around the outside as well. I just think it restricts them too much if you play them together. Because they're never going to get the best out of each other. You know what I mean? Like, maybe unless you play Mbeumo up front. Only thing I Wan-Bissaka struggle with is get the ball out of his feet across. But he's great. One-on-one defender, great ball carrier, runs all game. This is true. This is true. This is very true. I think what Wan-Bissaka really proved to us is that he could really give us a lot going forward as well. He can cross at times, but he is not typically a crosser. Very one-footed, but at least he tries to find the inside pass with the outside of his right foot. At least he tries to combine with players. Very good at getting out of possession as well. Got us out of trouble a lot by running with the ball. Good at playing like through the lines and stuff as well when he needed to. I'm very impressed with Wan-Bissaka since he's joined. Honestly, I'm asking, can you beat them now? No. I don't think we can, blank. I don't think we can. Not with Potter in charge, not at his current moment in time with the state of our squad, with Potter being the head honcho of that. We've obviously lost to Sunderland before, with Burnley and Leeds. I think we would struggle with even Burnley at home. I'll be so real. I think we'll struggle just because of the way they defend. You don't actually have to be that good to play against us. We've seen that with Southampton at home last season. You just have to be some form of structured, especially if they go to a 5. They went to a 5 against Forest. Parker's genuinely a terrorist. Scott Parker, he's another terrorist. But it will be enough to stop West Ham United. It will be enough. That's my thing. That's my thing. And it's with Leeds as well. You never know. Calvert-Lewin loves a goal against West Ham. I don't think we can beat them, innit? Especially at Ellen Road. But even then at home, we haven't won a home game since February, as I keep mentioning. So at this current moment in time, we can't beat them. I know I won't be second strip. Like I said, I love the guy, but I said he starts up at Ahmad or Maz. Right wing back simply isn't true. Now, if it was Dalot, then 100%, yeah, he starts over him. Fair enough. Ask Mike's what I say about Wan-Bissaka, still calling the best 1v1 defender in the league in this position. And he still is. But this is a problem. I feel like we have so much potential within our squad. I feel like we have so much potential in our squad. We can really build around our squad. Properly build around our squad. Especially with the gems that we have. The Wan-Bissakas, the Dioufs, the Walker Peters, the Skulls fullbacks. We've got good wing back depth. We've got good fullback depth. We haven't got good centre back depth. We don't have good centre back depth. But it's the spine of the team, isn't it? It's the spine of the team. It's getting the balance of the midfield. The centre backs, no, just no. And strikers, no, just no. But down the sides, we can build around them. I'd still build around the Hermanson. I maintain what I say. Hermanson, the fullbacks, still maintaining what I say about Tadibo, Paquetá, Bowen, Somerville. Those are the players I'm building around. And Fernandez. Why is Potter so crap? Is it more so your team or the manager? It is honestly, the team isn't like mad, but it's not bottom 3 worthy. So it's more the manager. But there are players that are not good enough for this team, i.e. James Ward-Prowse being the main one. But we don't really have a striker option like that. And that's the main problem. It's like all the positions we actually have with us, we don't have enough depth in those positions. Losing Kudus hurt way more than I thought it would, Max, unfortunately. Kudus didn't want to be here, but also Kudus ain't going to solve any of the games that we just had. Like, our problem hasn't been winger or 10 depth. Like, I'm happy with the players we have. It's nothing to do with him. But, do you know what was the problem? Not replacing him properly. Because the problem with us with Mohamed Kudus, I was thinking about this the other day. Do you know we made an excuse with Kudus? Is that he was our right wing? and 10. So even Bowen was there. He was the second right winger. But even Paquetá was there. He was the other 10. So when Kudus leaves, we only sign one player, and that's Mateus Fernandes. Because he was covering two positions, you need to get another winger and another 10, not just get Fernandes. But this club have made an excuse because Fernandes can play on the left. Paquetá can play on the left. That's what's hurt us more. So, like, we had Kudus last season. We had Kudus in the background of last season. And balance of the manager being a manager and Kudus not wanting to be here, it's not going to make a difference. But also, if you're going to sign a player because they cover all positions, you have to replace that player with 3 players or 2 players. We needed 11 players anyway. I agree, Mike. Centre forward would have been a long way. I'm telling you, someone to drag us out the pitch and have a physical presence sentiment as well. Yeah, fair enough. Now, I think in some games, Kudus could have pulled something out the bag for you. It won't solve everything, but it doesn't cause more issues, if you get what I mean. I hear what you mean. I don't think, put it this way, he's not an issue. Like, he's not a hindrance. Like, I've never said that. But what I'm saying is that the games that we've been in wasn't missing a Kudus. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't missing a Kudus. It was missing intelligence. It was missing intelligence in centre back. Basic mistakes. But also a midfield. Just a centre midfielder. Our games were just missing that. And just a set piece coach. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh, big up to Elijah for the raid. Big up to Elijah for the raid. Big up to everyone here. Big up to Elijah for the raid. Where's the belly mics? It's here. It's here, guys. It's here. It's here. Fuck's sake, man. Big up Guy. Big up June. Big up near side. Potter and Sullivan in. Mike's hairline out. My hairline is fine, bruv. My hairline is more than fine. Thank you very much. Big up Mike Shiesty. E-Raid. E-Raid, big up the catch up as well. Dan Potter really make Mike's go bald. I'm not bald. I got a trim on Friday. And basically got really short trim. Really short. It's just really short. That is it. I'm not bald. My hairline's still here. I've got a massive forehead. Did you see Potter's Barbie doll speared off on X? That was Sullivan's. Oh, how have we not talked about that? Yes. Let's talk about this. Now, you guys know the meme of 2 retards fighting, yes? You guys should know the meme already. Where is it? So, guys, you guys know I go at West Ham Central, yeah? You guys know I go at West Ham Central. He was beefing Sullivan's girlfriend on Twitter. Where is it? There we are. She's called Ampika. What kind of name is this? Let's talk about this. Okay, so for context, this is Sullivan's so-called girlfriend. Floats away in the clouds. Sunday is my favorite day of the week. The audacity a day after we lost. The audacity. Tell your boyfriend we hate him. So double XL Ed Sheeran, aka West Ham Central, has tweeted at her. Once you've been in football as an owner for 3 decades, invested in your security and staying up through relegation, please come and share your thoughts. Yes, we survived relegation, guys. Yay. As they would be valued and significant. To be nasty and personal, including your negative attitude towards myself based on tabloid nonsense. Do me a favor. Live a life in someone's shoes and comment. Hiding behind West Ham's club doesn't wash with me. Who the fuck are you? One retard, 2 retard. Like, bro, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, you can't back anyone. You can't back anyone against them two. You can't back either one side. I am not trying to back anyone in this. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Let's talk about West Ham Central, double XL Ed Sheeran, who, by the way, had the audacity to go at West Ham fans for the protest when he turned up to the game. You dickhead. I knew. Bro, how you have the audacity to go and hide your face, then sneak a little face when you're in the stadium and stuff like, oh, I'm at the stadium, guys. How about this, West Ham Central, show your face every time on your Twitter. Make your profile picture your face, innit? So people can recognize you in real life. Go and say everything with chest. Don't hide behind your account. Don't hide behind your account. I dare you. Because then I can recognize who you are. Because judging from his seat, by the way, he doesn't sit far away from me. I saw where he sits. He doesn't sit far away from me. I've just said Turkish Airlines doing its thing. I heard Ruben Herring took over Turkish YouTube channel. It's not Mike's airline, it's a Boeing 747. Sick. Rather trim expired already. What do you mean? Wait, what the what? There's nothing wrong with this trim. There's nothing wrong with this trim. Kudus money should have got towards the centre forward, front forward, Bowen Packett or Somerville, and the top centre forward would have been healthy and balanced. Exactly. Bruv, I can see your scalp. Bruv, it's meant to be this short. It's meant to be this short. I don't understand. Damn, you got a Dorito on your head. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Elijah. Thanks. Yeah, talk about it, mate. When Mike's gets really close up, you can see he goes. It's because I am cross-eyed, yes. It's because I am cross-eyed. She's trying to be hard and shit. She probably is hard. Look at that Sullivan saying mine's bigger. Crazy. Yeah, Gil, exactly. Yeah, that is a red card. That's a red card. Red card central. Is that a man? Probably, innit? Probably. Make sure to smash the likes, by the way. 30 watch it. Smash the likes. Smash the likes. Money is the most potent aphrodisiac. Laugh by ourselves. Could have said join top of the assist league at the moment, but yet some of your fans wanted to live off him not scoring a 3-0 win against you. Yeah, that's the thing. As much as he didn't do anything in that game, I would never brag about that shit. And the people online, this is why I don't associate myself, Daniel, with people on Twitter. Simple as that. I don't associate myself with that. She's trying to be hard. Yep. That man, that looks like a man. I can't lie. It probably is. 31 watching, get them likes in. Big up to everyone, smash the likes. I would reply, once you aren't just someone's bitch and run a club, come back and comment. I would as well, but West Ham Central's too fat to think of that, bro. I could walk down to Tesco's this moment right now to bag it back, go. This is also true. It's also true. Any local woman looks better than that. Is West Ham Central against the protest? Well, apparently he deleted his tweet against Dan Lawless. He deleted his tweet against Dan Lawless. But I don't know what he said originally. I'd have to ask Dan about that. But I'm pretty sure he was jabbing at fans about going to the protest and stuff. Because he basically just farms interactions, which is why I don't like people that associate West Ham with him, because he's the biggest West Ham account online, which is why I go at him. I made a Rico case video on him, by the way, already on this channel. You could go and find that. But he's the kind of guy that will basically jab at the owners when it's convenient to. And then after that, when it all dies down, he goes to the owners himself. He goes to the owners himself, but you also go at the fans going at the owners. You're a dickhead. You're a fat waste of space, piece of shit. Fucking ginger Keith Lemon. If you know about Keith Lemon, you know. ITV heritage. Fat fuck. Double XL Ed Sheeran bitch. Like, I don't like people like that. If you're bagging out. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck, bro? Oh, my days. Get the boxing gloves to the game. They won't let me in with that. Mike's about to close that West Ham Central with the shiesty on match day. Listen, it's here, bruv. It's here. No face, no case. Innit? It wasn't me. No, I do it with handcuffs and claw. You man are moving mad. You man are moving mad. Get the boxing gloves on. They're over now. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered, bro. Can't be bothered. Oh, for fuck's sake. The pressure is getting to the board. It's funny. Oh, yeah. Bro, the pressure is definitely getting to the board. This is why we needed to protest a long time ago. But the boycott against Brentford, protest against Burnley, we're running it again. Run it back and bring that back. Bring that back. Bring that back, as Specs would say. Bring that back, as Specs would say. They sold us short this summer. Yep, they sold us Mike short, bro. About as short as me, they sold us. That's mad. It's mad. They sold us a 5'8" man. That's what they sold us, bro. They sold us me, bro. Like, it's mad. It's mad. Like, I cannot be bothered, man. I cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered, man. Oh yeah, it's Keith Lemon. Oh yeah, Keith Lemon. I thought he was blonde, you know. They sold your show. They sold your soul for that shithole. And the thing is, fans sing that to jab at us, but I agree with that. But we're all thinking, I agree with that person, innit? When you talk about that, we're all agreeing with you. So keep chanting about the stadium because we agree. We will join you. All the away fans that come to London Stadium, they're like, oh, this London Stadium shit. We've got to go there fucking 19 times. You got to go there once. You bought a ticket as well. What did you expect? We've been here for 10 years. Like, what did you think was going to happen when you walked in? Like, genuinely, what did you think was going to happen to the stadium when you walked in? Because when we walk in, we know what to expect. We're like, okay, if we're losing by this much, we'll leave in the 60th minute. Mike's Carell, yeah, right, is on film. Oh, is he? Yeah, fair play to him. Fair play to him. Ginger Keith Lemon is good. Yeah, yeah. Bring back the bowling, man. Bring back the bowling. Bring back the bowling stadium. Get rid of them flats. Go and deport these guys. Also, Max, after the weekend's game, I may need to borrow your ski mask. Man, I get rushed. I Prime, you can just order one. This costs 80p. I genuinely, I ordered this for 80p on Temu. And I actually tried getting this in time for the Tottenham game because I knew we were going to lose. I knew I was going to lose. This new London thing stinks. Bro. Let me tell you my journey, guys. Let me tell you my journey for all the people that are not subscribed that are new here. And if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe. But listen, I went to the stadium in the 16-17 season. I had a season ticket from Upton Park. I went to the London Stadium and got my season ticket. I even went to Stratford to get the season ticket in person. I went to the 16-17 season, and because I kept going to games after like school and stuff, it just became long. I was in what year was I in 16-17 season? I was in year 9. I was in year 9. So I would have been 13, 14, whatever. And this is what happened, yeah. I went to the stadium, I was like, fuck this stadium. Because I was literally at Upton Park. So when I'm seeing a so-called new rejuvenated modern day football stadium, it's just like, fuck this, man. What the fuck? Just like, fuck this shit. So I was like, I'm not going anymore. I went to one game in the 17-18 season. That was West Ham Chelsea, and we won that game. And Arnautovic scored right at the end. 18-19 season, 19-20 season, I didn't go to a game. Obviously, in lockdown, you couldn't go to a game. I then came back in the 21-22 season. I've had a season ticket ever since then. Fuck this stadium. How about that? Fuck this stadium. Fuck this stadium, bro. Mate, I don't go there. I went 3 times in 10 years. The worst away day. Newcastle was even better with their nosebleed seats. Yeah, because at least they have a football stadium and go for a night out afterwards. Bro, you can't even go for a night out straight after a thing at the London Stadium. When are you going to go? XOY or in Shoreditch? Where you going to go on the Liverpool Street and go Shoreditch? Yeah, good luck trying to get there on the trains. You'll just get rushed. Like, it's mad, isn't it? At least you could go a night out at Newcastle. I've heard night out is good. Yeah, Ginger Keith Lemon. West Ham Central is just a fat fucking ogre, bruv. Literally just a ginger Shrek. Just a ginger Shrek. He's Shrek and Fiona combined weight-wise. Like, sideways. Built like an HD TV. HDMI merchant. He just built like a cardboard box and he wants to chat about West Ham fans going to a protest, bruv. Fuck West Ham Central. The guy is just a prick, bruv. By the way, for people that are watching this, he has old racist tweets about Colton Cole. I exposed this on my video. He has old racist tweets. He called Colton Cole the N-word. Like, casually as well. On the old account. Fucking ogre, bruv. Order one from where? Send me the link. Just, bro, go on your internet. Go on any app on the internet and search up Bally. Search up Balaclava. Bro, there's one for 80p. I've got this one for 80p. Like, you're taller than Lawless Mikes? I think I am. Yeah, I think I'm not. I don't actually remember. But I guess on the vlog you can see it. If you watch the vlog, I guess you can see it. Yeah. I was too drunk to remember. You need binoculars when you sit in the front row. It's crazy. Yeah, bro. I hate that stadium with a passion, you know. I generally hate that stadium with a passion. It's so jarring, man. So jarring. You lose every week. You're nothing special. You lose every week. Binocular settings, my guy. The last time I went to London Stadium with my boss who had a box, I couldn't see the pitch. I needed binoculars. Nah, most men need binoculars, bro. Fucking hell, man. He's a Spurs fan. I'm actually starting to generally feel a bit sorry for West Ham because in general, you are only going backwards, not forwards. For cool people like you, I do feel sorry. No, I appreciate that. Like, I think Tottenham fans can, like, obviously we're going through a lot more than you have. But you, man, could understand just based on the ownership basis on the frustration of having a terrible owner when you want to be above where you are. And it's just pain, man. It's just pain. It's pain. Your prime jokes aside, thoughts on Sanchez. But hey, we've got West Ham blankets. Fuck's sake, man. Fuck's sake. Nah, I don't feel sorry for him. They bought the bullshit for years with the Ozempic Brady. I feel like I thought I like Mike's and feel for him, but that's it. The rest, they sucked it all off. To be fair, most people that I know didn't do that. Most people I knew didn't want to move, so they didn't suck it off. But we were also promised a lot more than what we've got. Get Tottenham X, it will get you a new stadium. To quote Mike's, if I speak what I want to say, I will get suspended. Fuck's sake. Not all of them. I feel sorry for people like Mike's who are defeated. I feel sorry for fans like that because he said, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Remember West Ham Fan TV had a meeting with Ozempic Brady and went on about how things changed years ago, mate. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. But they've been complaining about the owners for time as well, though. If you look at their videos consistently, they've been complaining for time. Son of a Brady should be smart and sell binoculars at the stadium. Honestly, I would 2-foot tackle his son at that point, bro. I would 2-foot tackle his son. And by the way, his son isn't young. His son's like an adult, bro. I'm going to 2-foot that fat bitch. Mate, so I can fully understand where you are. Spurs could never understand. Enoch actually invest no matter how much crap Spurs fans give them. They have to live through Glazers. I hear that. I will maintain that the only owners that can really match us in terms of how bad they actually are is Wolves, just because of the way we operate. It's like we don't pay compensation for other managers, so we only hire managers on a free, which is I think is the worst thing the club actually does. They take money out of the club. We move to the London Stadium. They talk to the media. Sullivan is shorter than me. That's enough of reasons to say how bad an ownership is. It's mad, isn't it? It's mental. The new stadiums are all stuck. Goodison was good. Highbury was low-key, a great away day. Main Road was class. To be fair, I think Etihad, I think it's just nostalgia in it because Main Road obviously class, but Etihad is actually built decent. To be fair, from Tottenham fans, I don't know whether you agree with me in the chat yet, but the Everton Stadium on TV looks like yours. Or like just on TV, like forget like the color, forget how empty it is like from view, but from the TV angle, if we're comparing your two stadium, it just looks like your stadium. Like I remember when I first saw that stadium on TV, I thought it was a Tottenham stadium. I was so confused. Oh, Everton going to Tottenham, like it looks the exact same. But I think it's built correctly. But it's just like when you're looking from a bird's eye view, it looks like the Bundesliga stadium. I'm going to new Everton Stadium when Spurs play away. Fair enough. I wish I got to go to Goodison Park. I wish I got to go, but it's so hard to get away tickets as a West Ham fan because we still sell out away no matter what. It is almost the same as well. Etihad is good. Tottenham Stadium is good. Now the outside is better. Looks homey. Fair enough. White Hart Lane is Tottenham. Hotspur Stadium one. Tell me wrong. Yeah, honestly, I think it's more iconic. I've been to your stadium to go see Kendrick live. Your stadium is class, man. I can't even lie. Not even good. Bias aside, it's genuinely a world class stadium. Genuinely, like going inside. All the things inside of it, like the bars and stuff, the pubs, the way the seats are, the drinks, like the way it's organized, bro. I feel like I was in VIP, but I was in a normal seat. I got a normal seat for the Kendrick concert. I feel like I was in VIP. Honestly, it's such a good stadium. I'm not even gonna lie. Now, I fully agree with Jun there. I feel like if United move away from OT, our atmosphere won't be the same. On the other hand, we need to go through it again. Get to derelict and cost need to build it back up. Yeah, fair enough. People glazing White Hart Lane don't remember that place was falling apart. Damn, Jun and Guy do not agree. I nominate Alfie as your new owner. You'll be too busy playing Xbox, I'm afraid. Speaking of Alfie, though, we'll be live at 9:30 with Alfie later. Because you're there for a concert, not football. Oh, yeah, of course. But I'm saying, like, for example, the inside of the stadium looks sick. And it's not even VIP. It looks VIP and it's not VIP. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even saying you should be happy with it. But the inside, like, I thought I bought a wrong ticket. I was generally checking my tickets, being like, "Bro, did I buy a wrong ticket? Did I buy like one that's meant to be in a box?" But it just looked like it. It looked genuinely sick. But it was also because I'm so used to the London Stadium that looks like people just piss on the walls. It's mad. It's mad. But I don't think we have anything else to talk about. I'll be so honest. But I'm going to check who's live. Who's live? There is no one live. AN Sports is live. Yeah. Go to AN Sports. Man United fan. He's talking about F1 right now. We're going to redirect him. Guys, I'm going to be live later at 9:30 with Alfie. So this won't be the last live of the day, so we'll be live later. But yes, listen, people. Like the stream. Subscribe if you're new. Go and say Mike's Raid in AIM Sports' chat. And yeah, take care and peace.